you're in an All-Ireland final. You're more comfortable win over Waterford than Cork had. So looking back at the weekend now, what's your take on this, was?
Yeah, well, first of all, we're absolutely delighted to be in the final. I think coming into it, there was, I suppose, that whole aura with the 3 weeks off. Waterford had a nice bit of momentum coming in, how that would work. Early on, they hit us with everything they possibly could, and I suppose one of the great characteristics of Limerick is, we didn't fall down there. I suppose we weathered the storm and stuck to the plan and kicked on, and I suppose overall we were delighted to get over the line. Yes, maybe 7-8 points was a nice way to finish it out in, but at the same time, as we've seen throughout the year, like 16 points was whittled down to 3 with Galway and Waterford, and of course ourselves in Tip. So they're not massive leads in hurling anymore, so you have to be on your guard all the time, and I think we did it well and we saw out the game well.
Managing that couple of weeks, as you say, when other things are going week on week, and it's nearly ideal, sometimes you're not going for a load of weeks in a row, but was that a challenge for you?
Not necessarily. I think the whole way we base the training sessions are around that kind of game-based situation, and I suppose with the competition for places in the squad, it has been great for us to be able to maybe take each other on inside here on a couple of nights, and that has worked well, and it's kind of driven the level of the group, driven the standards in the group, which has been great. So I suppose the worry playing matches week on week is you could possibly pick up maybe extra injuries, and you can't beat the intensity of a championship match, so from that side we were probably lucky enough coming into that we were relatively injury free and fresh.
Did any of you stay on in Dublin or come back up, I should say, to watch the match on Sunday?
Yeah, well, we all came down in the train after the game, and a few of the management team went up on Sunday to see Cork and Kilkenny, so they stayed there a bit longer than they'd expected, so it turned out to be a great game, so we would have watched that, yeah.
What was your takeaway from that? It's shades of Limerick, because in 2018 a game like that can bring a team on, even though extra time is involved. Any manager was looking for, I suppose. Yeah,
it wasn't, and I suppose just the word in Kilkenny, like, they are never beaten. They're unbelievable, to watch them. They hung in there till the very end and managed to get it to extra time. But again, I suppose one of the strengths that Cork are after coming out of now, or one of the real positives for them, is that mentally they can kick on after having that comfortable lead heading into the end of normal time. That'll be a big plus for them going forward. I would say that they kicked on in extra time. They seem to be fresher, actually, even though they were the team that had played a lot of games. So, of course, they're a very young side as well. So, and of course, with the pace and I suppose freshness coming off the bench for them, helped them as well.
Like, that pace is what everyone is talking about. But he coped with it pretty well in the Munster Championship.
We did and we didn't. I would say we got a lot of learnings out of it. It's a very hard thing to stop. As we saw last weekend, if you get it right, you can be cut open, and I think you have to play in this Cork side. There is on occasions that you're going to be opened up, like they're just too good a side not to. And with that pace, I said, like, it is I wouldn't say it's a massive concern. It's a strength of Cork's, and we look at it closely. We'll try our best to stop it, and obviously there will be occasion when they do break that line, and it's just how we react to that is the main thing for us.
There's absolutely no secrets, I suppose, between the two sides. You've met each other numerous times, league, championship, challenge games across the last 5 years.
We have, and I suppose the 2018 one, as Michael said there, like, it was us that came back near the end and then kicked on in the extra time. But look, I suppose this year alone, we've played them in the league here. We've played them obviously in the championship, and they got one over us there the year before. So, like, very little between us. Like, the one thing about Cork is that they're a hurling team, and like a very skillful team, and I suppose a lot of similarities with Limerick, and at the same time maybe a lot of differences in how we set up. So from that side, like, we have seen enough of each other throughout this year, and a lot of that, like, games take on their own lease of life as well, and obviously both teams are very good at sticking to the plan, so it'll be interesting how it'll pan out.
Just thinking back to where Limerick are now and from where you would be maybe when we were going to All-Ireland finals, you must be so comfortable now about I suppose the schedule of getting to Croke Park, knowing the surroundings, knowing your dressing room. There isn't this aura about Croke Park that there was when you were there.
Yeah, maybe. Like, it was a big thing going up there. Maybe playing quarterfinals would probably be on in Thurles if we were lucky enough to be in one, and a semi obviously in Croke Park. But I think the lads are in a great routine now. Up in the train that morning, home to train that evening. You know, there is a routine, and we've been, I suppose, blessed that we've been there on a nice number of occasions in the last three to 4 years or whatever it may be. So Croke Park is the place where every player wants to be. So it's I can't wait for the occasion.
Within the camp, I'm sure you play it down to a game by game scenario, but you're living and working out the county. Have you sensed that sense of occasion building? Yeah,
definitely. And I suppose where I'm based out in West Limerick, we're probably 10 to 12 minutes away from the Cork border. So, and as you get closer over, you tend to see more green and white flags as the closer you get to Charleville. So. There's huge rivalry there between the two counties, and I suppose a huge respect as well, and like the interesting thing I suppose about the weekend is there's been a lot of banter going on over and beyond the county, and even looking into Tipperary. I suppose when we were 10 points down, there was a couple of shouts, best to look into qualifiers, and it's amazing the way things can swing around so fast. So heading into normal time, I suppose there was question marks. Have Cork got the mental strength to kick on in extra time? So they're after maybe swinging it back again now, and that's a huge boost to them going in, as it is us getting over Waterford. So it has the makings of a really great final.
Donal, was there any change in the preparations given that Limerick were slightly later than usual at Croke Park? You spoke about Croke Park, how comfortable you are there. Was there any change for Saturday?
As in the extent, the half an hour?
Yeah.
I suppose it was just a reset. Obviously there's a schedule there that the players are so used to, about time to tog out, and obviously the different chats we'd have with different areas of the lines of the field. So we just put it back a half an hour. It was, at the end of the day, for me, supporters have been out of the equation for so long. 2 years without seeing an occasion like Saturday. And listen, to be honest, I think we just got on with it. It was the exact same for Waterford. Maybe a factor, maybe 4 points to 3 after 12 or 13 minutes. Was it a slow start, or was it just two teams were absolutely hammering into each other? A bit of both, I would say.
And you said a slow start, but for all of Waterford's start and the impressive start, it was Limerick who were ahead at the water break.
Yeah, that was, I suppose, a little psychological boost after 15 minutes, because in fairness to them, they threw the kitchen sink at us, and the hits that were going in, a lot of our big boys were on the ground, which is a credit to them, and the crowd really got behind them. But mentally, I thought Limerick handled that period very well, and this still went in, as I said, at the water break, that point up. So it was just a chance to regroup and